Good morning. It is Friday here at the ranch and I have the day off, which thank goodness, because as you can tell from the title of this video, I am stressed. And I feel like, I don't know, I posted a reel this past week talking about how I feel like living on a ranch is the second best thing to dying and going to heaven. And don't get me wrong, living here is amazing, but it doesn't make me immune to the stressors of the world. I would say the biggest stress in my life is definitely my job as an accountant. I work as a CPA. I'm a manager in a mid-sized public accounting firm, and it is a very stressful job, and it takes its toll on me. There's a lot of expectations in that role in terms of meeting deadlines, managing a lot of files all at the same time, and there's an expectation of perfection, like literally perfection. You cannot make mistakes, and that can be very taxing on a person, and it has proven so for myself. But we are not here to talk about the sources of my stress. We're talking about how we are going to manage the stress. So I'm going to go through a few of the different things that I'm kind of like testing out to see what's going to work in terms of not making my life stress-free, because I don't think that would be a reasonable goal, but to at least bring my stress down to a more manageable level where I don't feel like it's to the point of being debilitating. So, because yeah, during tax season, stress, debilitating for sure. But we're trying some things out here when it's not as stressful at work, so that when life does get really, really stressful, I have tools in my toolkit to manage it. One of the reasons why managing my stress is important is obviously for my health. Stress can be very detrimental to your health, but for my horses, specifically Diesel. So back in the day when I rode Junior, he was such a trooper. I bought him when I was 15 maybe. And of course, teenage years, Junior went through all of those emotional ups and downs. Like, he's seen every emotion come out of me. And, you know, there would be some days where I would get to the arena with him and have had a hard day and just need to have a good ride on my horse. And he 100% gave that to me. I could get on Junior, just do whatever. He would like absorb all of that terrible energy coming out of me, and we would have a good ride, and at the end of it I would feel 1,000 times better, because having a good ride on a good horse makes everything better. Junior is now retired, and while I can kind of sort of ride him, it's best that I don't, just due to some injuries that he's had in the past. And so now I have Diesel. Diesel's awesome, but he is not Junior. He is not Junior at all. And I first really had that smack me in the face, was it 2 or 3 years ago when we moved into this house. It was a very stressful period of time. There was a lot of moving parts involved, a lot of things that needed to be done. It was a stressful time, and I was very stressed out. And I was fairly new to Diesel. I think I had only had him for a few months, I want to say. I think the timeline's right. Anyways, I started fighting with Diesel. We weren't having good rides, and it just felt like whenever I got on him, he was just kind of pissy. I don't know how to explain it, but just, we weren't jiving. We'll go with that. And one day I finally realized, like, he's picking up on my energy and he doesn't like it. I come to the barn, I'm in a big huff, and I get on his back. I'm sure I feel like a tight ball of anxiety, and he doesn't know what to do with it. He's like, okay, obviously something's wrong, but I don't know what. Is it something I'm doing? Like, I don't like this. And we would just have terrible rides. And I realized that while Junior would take that energy and just like absorb it and like let it go behind us, Diesel takes it on and doesn't know how to handle it and just doesn't like that feeling at all. He does not like it. And so it's really important for me as a rider to manage my emotions, and before I get to the barn, before I swing a leg over his back, to reset and kind of like get a hold of my emotions so that he's not picking up that something's wrong and that he needs to do something about it. That's difficult. So I need to figure out ways to, like before I get to the barn, or like once I get to the barn, before I go catch him, I need to like reset, tell myself we're gonna have a good ride, it's gonna be good, and like leave the stress behind, because otherwise it doesn't work. We have terrible rides, we get nothing accomplished, and both of us end up angry at the end of the day. So that is a big motivator for me in managing my stress, because I really want the good riding season here in Alberta is so short. I need to capitalize on every single ride. And if a lot of those rides are getting disrupted because I can't regulate my own emotions, then that sucks. So big motivator for me to manage my emotions for sure. I think one of the first things that people talk about when they mention like I need to manage my stress, I feel anxious, all that stuff, a lot of people go straight to meditation. They say you need to meditate, you need to sit and breathe and clear your head and not think about anything and just slow down. Do you know how hard that is? It is so hard. And I'm sure lots of people can benefit from meditation and are able to just sit for however long and clear their head and just feel calm. I can't do that, because the moment I sit down and try to just be quiet, I have a million thoughts going through my head. So one thing that I have tried lately is 5 minutes. That's all I'm asking of myself, is 5 minutes. I sit down. I found a YouTube morning meditation of sorts. It's a 5-minute video that I close my eyes and I listen to. It asks me to breathe, gives me a few positive affirmations for the day, and sends me on my way. It's 5 minutes is not that much, right? And even in that period of time, I find my brain going everywhere, but I feel like at least I'm trying, right? It's getting me to breathe deeply, which I'm sure I don't do for large chunks of the day. Just breathing puts a few good thoughts in my head. Great way to start the day. So that's one thing that I've made a goal of, trying to do that at least 5 days a week. And it's low bar, right? I'm not saying I need to sit here in complete silence and not have any thoughts in my head for 30 minutes, because I know that is completely unrealistic. I do not have the time for it. I cannot sit with no thoughts in my head for that long, and all the things. So 5 minutes, YouTube video, done and dusted. I find I'm starting to enjoy it. So I think it's something, as I said, I'm kind of just trying out different stress management techniques, but I think this is one that I'm going to stick with. And I think I'm going to just stick with 5 minutes. There is definitely a temptation to be like, okay, you're solid with doing 5 minutes, let's try 10 minutes. But I think the fact that it is only 5 minutes is why it's been working for me, is because it's short, sweet, gives me something positive, can move on with my day. Just pulled up to the grocery store. Gonna do my weekly haul. As you guys know, I absolutely hate grocery shopping, so we will get in and get out as fast as we can. One thing that has added stress to my life is like my nutrition, my training. I know a lot about those topics, and that can sometimes be a curse in that I
significantly overthink it. I rattle that stuff around in my brain about what I should be eating, how much I should be eating, how I should be working out. Am I working out too much? Am I getting results? Like all the things just rattle around in my brain. And so actually, as of today, I started working with a coach. Her name is Sammy, and she is a registered dietitian and a certified personal trainer. So I have signed up to work with her so that she will take care of like telling me macros, this is what you should be eating. She's going to set my training up for me so I know how I should be working out throughout the week, and just kind of putting it in her hands and just getting it out of my head. She can figure out what I should be doing for my health and fitness goals. I don't have to think about it, and it's just, yeah, off my plate. I am so excited to be working with her. Like I said, I started today, so I'm just waiting for her to kind of like formulate my plan and send it over. She did mention that she's probably going to increase both my protein and my carbohydrates. So I'm going to buy basically the exact same stuff that I always buy here at the grocery store, but I might get a few extra things just knowing that those two macronutrients will likely go up in my diet. And yeah, we'll kind of go from there.
Back at the barn, I'm gonna go for a ride on Diesel. One of the big things of my stress management protocol, if you will, does involve my horses. So earlier I said that me being stressed is a stress to my horses, but being here at the barn, doing things with my horses is a huge stress reliever for me. And when I neglect that in my life, my stress tends to go up. So whether that be just grooming them, tacking, untacking, tinkering in the barn, riding, doing groundwork, going for a hand walk, all those things are very, very good for my stress levels, and I really need to lean into that. I think because I've had horses in my life since I was 10, I can maybe take them for granted a little bit. And I also have a tendency to make them feel like a job. Like I need to be out here every day doing these things. We need to make progress. That can be a drag, and that can be a stress. I've been working really hard at reminding myself horses are supposed to be fun. This is my hobby. This is what I do for fun. I am truly blessed to be able to be out here, to have spare time, to have the money, all the things available to be able to be here with my fantastic horses. And I think maybe it just comes back to maybe developing some sort of gratitude practice on, like, I have 2 horses. They're healthy, they're happy, they have good feed. I have enough spare time to be spending with them. I am able-bodied enough to be able to ride. I have this amazing property with an arena and trails that I can ride on if I want to. Like all the things. I have so many good things to be grateful for. And just going back to that reel from earlier, living on a ranch can be the second best thing to dying and going to heaven. It is truly wonderful here. Like today, the sun is shining. It's nice and warm out. Grass is green. It's super quiet. The horses are just munching on pasture. It's really good. And sometimes when I get in the weeds, I think of life stress, of work and whatever else. You forget that. And I need to just slow down and enjoy what's right in front of me. Because it won't last forever. I am fully aware of that. It will not last forever.